Namaste everyone. Good evening and good morning to everyone. Um, Happy to welcome you all back onto this Healing Mandalin show. I hope you all had a wonderful Ganesh Chaturthi. Welcome Madhuji.
Namaste. Thank you.
Wish you all a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi.
Sri Mahaganadhipataye Namaha. Lambodaram Chaturbahum Mahalakshmi Samanvitam Mahalakshmi Ganapatim Vande Pratyuhadvantanasanam. Happy Ganesh Chaturthi and rest of the year for everybody.
Thank you, sir. We'll
Thank you.
start with the Ganesh Vandan and then we'll go ahead with our show.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Now I would like to invite one of my favorite musicians, great sitar player. He's a maestro. In fact, one of my favorite musicians who I look forward to perform on stage with him. One and only Purbayanji. Please welcome.
Namaste, Purbayanji.
Namaskar, everybody, and what a beautiful piece, Vatapi Ganapati. And we are going through Ganesh festival, Ganesh Chaturthi here in Mumbai also. So divine, so wonderfully appropriate. Thank you, Rajesh ji. Thank you, Madhu ji, for having me on this platform and giving me a chance to talk with you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Wonderful. In fact, Madhuji was so excited. He's a huge fan of sitar. So he was, once we said that we're going to invite you, he was so thrilled and excited. He's got so many questions to ask you.
First of
I
all,
also have some questions to ask him after this is over.
Thank you, sir. Anytime. When we say
Yes, sir.
hometown, Calcutta, it is a place of lot of great scholarliness, including our national anthem came from there. Musicians, Rabindranath ji, Vivekanand ji, Sir Jagadish Chandra Bose ji, Ramakrishna Paramhansa ji, Kalima. I think, sir, and take us to Calcutta, your childhood in Calcutta, where you started music, and we go from anywhere from there. We take us all to Calcutta. We are fed up.
Oh, you're taking me back to my childhood. That is quite a pleasant thing to do, actually, especially in these times. I think in the last few months, post-COVID times, that's a place I've been visiting many times. My childhood, and because when you go through slightly difficult times, you try to go back to those days of childish innocence where you are, you leave the worrying to adults. And I grew up in a family which is. Which was actually very traditionally inclined, but because my father, was traveling as a professional musician, so I got to see a great deal of the West. Also, I got to see a great deal of world culture. I mean, his students were always around. They were traveling from various countries of the world. But as you very correctly said, Calcutta is a city which is steeped in tradition. It's a very old world city, for want of a better phrase. I think even to this day, we pride ourselves on the whole Bengali heritage and how we are still the Calcutta of the British era, so to speak. We have a very strong colonial hangover, and I'm not saying that in a bad way, because sometimes old world is quite endearing. It's nice to go back to a familiar old place. And so I grew up in that kind of environment. I had, interestingly, my schooling was in a Christian missionary school. So, just as we celebrated Durga Puja and Kali Puja, as you very correctly said, I would go to school and learn how to, recite hymns, and I would recite with the rest of my fellow students. And growing up as a musician, we had a lot of, Muslim friends who grew up with us, from whom I often learned, Hindi. I would learn to talk to them in Hindi. That not all of them were from Calcutta. There were people from Delhi and so on. And it was a very, very cosmopolitan, very open, very culturally diverse environment that we grew up in. And yet, coming from a family which was traditional, I mean, my father was, father's guru was Pandit Nikhil Banerjee, who I'm sure, you all know and we all admire and respect and worship. And then subsequently Ustad Ali Akbar Khan Sahab, who's also my father's guru and who I had the chance of going and learning from. So that was the growing up years were full of learning, full of pretty strict discipline also. I mean, my dad was one of those, as a guru at home, he was loving, but he was stern. You had to, and he was not one of those people who yelled at you, just looked at you and you had to obey. So and my mom was the opposite. She would yell. and so we grew up in that kind of an environment. And then at certain time in my life, my dad took me to Pandit Ajay Chakravarti ji to learn some vocal music, to Pandit Anindo Chatterjee ji, and I learned some tabla bowls and stuff like that. And of course, as I traveled with dad, I had the occasion of meeting great artists like Pandit Shiv Kumar Sharma, Ustad Zakir Hussain, who's like a guru and a mentor for all of us. But I've traveled the world and met everybody, but Calcutta was where we came back. There was that whole comfort associated with belonging to the old world. So that's how I grew up. Till one day I decided to leave and go out into the whole wide world, the whole wide world, and explore it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Calcutta is like, you made us understand. I was fortunate enough to be, I could meet great Sri Ali Akbar Khan Saab in California. And I had the privilege or honor of talking in a class about Kali Ma. He asked me, okay, talk about Divine Mother. And he was so humble. He said, I am also a devotee of, Kali.
Yes.
Oh,
In fact, the entire family, so Ustad Alauddin Khan Sahab, they're worshippers of Ma Sharada. There's a Ma Sharada temple in Maihar. If you go up I have never had the privilege of going there, but someday I intend to. You go up the steps and so they're all Kali Bhakts.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Amazing. So when you're talking about your father strict, no, it reminds me of my father. He was very strict.
Yeah, we've all been there.
Yeah, but that's what helps us today to play, whatever we're playing today.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, he's strict still now. He's quite strict.
They're old school. They have to be like that, I guess.
Well, see, the thing is, as I, growing up, as I saw my father, and today I interact with my son. And I think when you go through your teens or go through your 20s, you have that whole rebellious phase. I had that also. But only now I think I can understand. Yeah. I think once you hit your 40s, you understand your father a little better.
True. Very truly said. Yeah.
I think I just gave away my age.
You're not talking about age here. It's just a number. Gee, we would like your fans like to listen to you a little bit, if it's possible to play a few.
Oh, after your beautiful Hamsadvani, I don't know what I'm going to play. But
what, sir? I'm a big fan of your Shanmugapriya. Let me say something. A lot of North Indian players have played a lot of ragas, but I think you are the first artist I've heard venturing Shanmugapriya playing so beautifully. Remember, we played in Bombay.
Yes, we did. We had a wonderful duet concert in Mumbai. And Shanmugapriya is I'm fascinated by that. I'm in fact fascinated by Carnatic music. I've had the privilege and pleasure of playing with a lot of Carnatic musicians, and it's a tradition which fascinates me more and more. Not only the ragas but even the Tal Shastra. That I find very difficult, but I try to learn a little bit when I play with people like virtuosos like Rajesh Bhai. It's more of a learning experience for me. Then I sit there and count and just try to learn something.
No, same here, sir. We learn from each other. A lot of ragas. I'm a big fan of yours. It'll be great if you can play a few lines.
Okay, sure. So, I think I'll start off. I'm sorry, my sitar is, because it's very rainy here in Mumbai now. So the sitar is getting very confused by the weather. So bear with me for a couple of seconds. Okay, thank you, Ji, for the Tanpura. But I think now when we play, I think it's better to switch off I can switch it on from here, because sometimes the Tanpura drowns especially on Zoom, that tends to happen. So So I'll play because it's Ganpati time, no? So this is a bhajan I'm playing, which is a big favorite. It's a Ganpati bhajan, which is beautifully rendered by one of my favorite artists, Ashwini Bhideji. Okay, and it's in Yaman, roughly in.
क्या बात है sir? Ha.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you so
Amazing.
much.
No,
It's
we don't feel like
Jehi-
stopping. We want to listen more. Beautiful.
It's a very, very beautiful bhajan, which I remembered, and I've heard it a lot for many years now, and just felt like playing it.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful. Such amazing
Thank you so much.
tone you have.
Can I ask a question, sir?
Ji, Zarur, of course.
In one of your interviews, you made a great statement. Sitar is a sensible instrument. It's like a human being. It's like a woman. It's like Devi, who is free and expresses herself. So please say more about sitar as an instrument and your association with sitar.
You've actually taken this quote. I remember having mentioned this a long time ago. The sitar, for me, I guess everybody's instrument is to them. But since, this is the instrument with which I have a connection, I just feel like it flows. It's a very flowing instrument. It's so resonant and warm. Just if you strum it, just with the taraf and the chikari and in fact, a friend of mine from England, who's a musician from there, he once told me that it sounds like a whole orchestra is playing because there's so many sympathetic strings. It's a very unique feature of Indian instruments to have sympathetic strings. So for me, and I've seen so many sitars in my lifetime, you actually really get attached to your own instrument. That's what I can say. I think that is again true with every instrument. But in my case, I have a few sitars, but I'm very, very attached to them. Like you feel sad. It's a very physical connection. If you don't take it out or just strum it a little bit or play it every day, you feel sad. And so every day, there are some days when you may not be in the mood to practice or you may not get the time, but I at least make sure I take it out. I clean it a little bit, I tune it a little bit, play a little bit. It should be something that you really, want to do.
Beautiful, sir. Sir, you also invented and you brought out this transparent sitar, which is talked about. Do you name your sitars? Or do you put a nickname to them or like a divine name to it? Or how do you?
I actually wanted to ask you that question. It's beautiful looking sitar and sounds great, that transparent sitar. Amazing.
Thank you so much, Rajesh ji. Yeah, it's thank you very much. I'm glad you guys like it. It's something that I came up with. A friend of mine in Belgium was very kind to design it for me and to I gave him the structural diagrams and then he built on it and it's beautifully done. It's like
where is your friend? From where?
He's from Belgium. He has a company called the Sitar Factory. Actually, very interesting. He learned sitar making in India, and his name is Klaas, and he learnt, and he makes these sitars very beautifully. He makes carbon fiber sitars also.
Wow.
But this for the sitar, which this particular, the transparent sitar, I gave the name sitar because you can see through it.
See through
So
it.
I gave it, simply because you can see through it. But I think naming, there was a time in my life when I was fascinated, and I thought, okay, I'll give every new sitar, a name or something, and all that. But eventually, I think now I've grown out of it, because you see all these different, names which are very sort of grand. But I don't think my playing is so grand, so I I don't want to name every instrument of mine.
You're trying to be so humble.
Someday, if I feel my playing is good enough, I'll start naming my instruments again.
Sir, I have
I
more
think
questions,
we
but
should
we
we
want to
should
leave
not
the
only
mandolin
music.
sitar.
Ji, we should also learn simplicity from you. You've been so humble and nice, amazing playing. I'm a big
I'm
fan
just
of your playing.
I likewise, that is totally mutual. And Rajesh Bhai and myself, I remember we did a recording for Saregama. I don't know if you remember.
Yes, yes.
Rajesh Bhai,
Calcutta.
the typical
Bikram Bhai.
jet setter that he is. He came. Fortunately, we had to book a studio near the airport, because he came, he recorded, and he left by the evening.
The same night I was going back to America, I remember.
Yeah, see, there you
What
go.
an experience. Yeah. Ji, do you mind playing a little bit of Shanmuga Priya?
Oh, okay.
I'll also follow you. Little bit.
Of course, certainly. Ji.
And later, if possible, on transparent sitar also. Later, something on transparent.
Oh, I didn't say. See, that requires a bit of setup,
Later.
because the transparent sitar is electric.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, we were talking about the sitar, but this is one of the things about the sitar is you have to keep tuning it. I'm sorry about that. I'm apologizing to my viewers also, but
No, that's the beauty, You have to tune for each and every raga. That's the
well, I think the
speciality.
sitar is a very moody person, so you have to get him or her ready for every raga. You have to tune. It's like I told you, it's like a beautiful woman. Every time she'll go to a party, she has to get dressed appropriately for the party. So the bindi and everything has to be perfect.
Beautiful, sir.
Gee, I'll follow you.
Yes.
No, I'll follow you. You start.
Shanmukha Priya, I'll follow you. If we were playing Mishra Mand or something, then I would not mind leading. But this is your raga, sir.
Okay, Ji.
Wow. क्या बात है.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. क्या बात है. मजा आया.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's such, we
Thank you,
miss
sir.
being on
I
the
don't know.
stage.
We absolutely miss it. And
Right.
when it comes to like Shanmukha Priya, I don't know if I'm playing it correctly because I'm certainly playing the notes of the raga. But in the Carnatic tradition, it is approached a certain way. But I'm trying to interpret it in my own.
No, but it's beautiful. The blend is so beautiful, and I'm started enjoying it. We really miss being on the stage. Remember, Bombay
I do too. I know, sir. I'm still remembering our duet in Mumbai, in Chembur. And
Chembur,
it was
yeah.
truly a wonderful memory. I still remember who was it? Satyajit was on tabla.
Satyajit was on
Satyajit
tabla, and
Talwalkar.
Satyajit Talwalkar ji was on the tabla. We had fun.
And I can't
Rajesh
remember who
Srinivasan.
was on Mridangam.
Rajesh Srinivasan. on
Rajesh Ji on Mridangam. Another Rajesh Ji. Yeah. I must mention, when you talk about Shanmukha Priya, my fascination for this raga started with the great Shankar Mahadevan Ji, because we were doing something. I was recording for him, and we were having lunch in the lunchtime, and he suddenly said, "Oh, Purbain, I think you should play this raga. It's a nice raga." And then he sang some. So I started getting fascinated. He sang some phrases, and then I started listening to it. That's how,
Yeah.
And then I have composed a ghazal in this raga, which is sung by my wife Gayatri, it's very rare to have a ghazal in Shanmukha Priya. And in fact, the other great Rajesh, who's Rajesh Vaidyaji, he's played veena on it.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And
Beautiful song.
And
Swaminathan played Kanjira.
Swaminathan has played Kanjira very beautifully.
Beautiful. And then I can't forget the way you played beautifully in my Guruji's and brothers song.
Oh,
single,
that was such a
Sangamam.
privilege. Seriously,
In fact,
that was such a.
It's become like that part which you played is become like on loop. Madhuji, we both were listening to it on loop. We will be,
Oh,
while we
thank you, sir.
conclude, we
Thank
will
you.
play a little bit that song while we go
For
towards the
me,
end.
you know, that day I must, you know, in this context, I must mention, I'm sorry if I'm going off context, but I must mention this.
No, 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 please, please.
For me, Srinivas ji, you know, although I have not had much, you know, opportunity of interacting with him, but, you know, he's as much of a mentor for me, because, you know, when it comes to phrasing, his phrasing is like really exemplary. You have to study Srinivas ji's phrasing if you have to be a good musician, how he phrases. And it is so universal. It is above Hindustani, Carnatic, you know, classical, jazz. You know, it can fit into any framework. And for me, I'm like really like a devotee.
Very nice.
No,
Sir,
beautifully said, sir. He's beyond that genre and it fits everywhere.
Totally. Yes.
Wonderfully said, wonderfully said, and we thank you for expressing that, because a lot of fans enjoy talking about. In fact, the whole idea of this whole healing mandolin is talking about our Guruji, and then, you know, thank you so much. Thank you.
He
Madhuji
is the one, you
he's
know,
got a
very
question.
few musicians have the ability to take you into a space where, you know, you cease, like your physical dimension cease to exist. And Srinivas ji is one of those musicians.
Definitely, sir. I'm very fortunate to be his brother and student. Madhuji, you had a question you asked
I
to
had a
us.
question.
Please.
Purbayanji, you're also a singer, Hindustani singer. I saw you singing too. Either a shlok or one line, whatever your heart feels, please. I hope it's okay to ask your voice.
Well, I am, you know, really, honestly, I mean, I just sing. I love singing, and I've had some training from Pandit Ajay Chakravarti ji when I was a kid. I used to love singing his songs and whatever. Then I'm now I've become a fan thanks to my wife. I listen to a lot of ghazals and stuff. So I don't know what to sing actually. But you know, for singing, I need my sitar in my hand for sur.
Yeah.
I don't know what I should sing, but today I was Rajesh ji played Hamsadhwani so beautifully. So I was remembering this beautiful Saraswati, you know, Saraswati Vandana, I'll call it, which is sung so beautifully by Ustad Amir Khan Sahab, who's one of the greats of our classical music. So I'll let me sing a couple of lines of that. Jai Mate Vilam Taj De, Jai Mate Vilam Taj De, Maga Nagun De, Jai Mate Vilam Taj De. Srij Gona Amar Devi, Srij Gona Amar Devi, Janani Jagate Jai Mate Vilam Taj De.
Kya baat hai,
Just
sir?
a few lines.
Wonderful, ji. Wonderful.
I'm happy I
Amazing.
could remember all the words. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Amazing,
This is the great thing about our tradition and our music is, see, this is a Saraswati Vandana sung by Ustad Amir Khan Sahab. Hari Om Tat Sat sung by Ustad Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab is immortal. And you know, this is our culture. It's so amazing, and we have, at the same time, we have so many wonderful, you know, Hindu singers who are singing Sufi, who are singing Maula, and it's like this is our culture. I think our music transcends all the boundaries of everything.
Absolutely. And what a great coincidence, great Sri Ali Akbar Khan ji's sister is called as Annapurna ji, and she retained that name.
Yes.
Also, Guru Ma. Like,
Indeed.
the beauty of it.
Yeah, Annapurna Devi ji, and one of the greats, all-time greats of our music.
Exactly.
Yes.
Amazing, sir. Thank you. See, I would like you to share, because I think you have very few artists in India who have collaborated with all the genres and all the artists. You worked with Rashid Khan Bhai, Kaushiki ji, Shankar Mahadevan sir. I think you worked with all the dimensions. Could you please tell something about that, ji, please?
Still, I have not yet collaborated with Beyonce and Lady Gaga. That is left.
That's coming soon.
Now,
But having said that, I certainly have played with hip hop. I have played multiple songs which are in the hip hop genre. But yeah, Rajesh ji, this is a very interesting question, because I feel for listeners also, and or for especially for students of music,
Hmm.
um, see, when you start off, no, you think raga, you think tala, or those who come from a certain tradition, those who are from, say, Western classical, they think, oh, harmony. Those who are from jazz, they think, okay, what is the cycle, harmonic cycle? How many, all these are technical terms. I think once you have spent a certain number of years playing with people, and then you slowly start speaking a language or understanding a language which is far less full of words and far more full of emotion, and then you begin to pick up on those energies, and music, all it is just an exchange of energy. You take somebody's energy and you give your energy, and you give your energy to that person. So even if it's just a sitar and a tabla playing, it is that. Or if I'm playing with say Rajesh ji and a mridangam player, it's that we are feeding off of each other's energy. Maybe the mridangam player is starting to play a korvai, and I'm trying to follow it, and that is the energy in itself. And maybe I'm not even able to follow it, but I take a slight deviation. That is another kind of energy, which then the tabla player follows, and so it's basically that's what it's about. What is correct and what is wrong is often not as important as what is beautiful and what is not beautiful.
Beautifully understood.
So I think slowly, with your more number of years that you spend doing this, you begin to have this realization, and you concentrate on the beauty of that energy rather than correctness. And what I have learned, what you have learned, is always there in your system.
Beautiful. Very, very beautiful. Rajesh sir, I think we want to hear more mandolin and sitar combination.
Yes, I want to hear Rajesh
can you
ji,
hear me? Sorry.
Rajesh bhai playing. I've heard so many
No.
beautiful recitals. In fact, Rajesh bhai has played in my piece in Shanmukha Priya, yet another Shanmukha Priya piece, which is still in the oven. It's coming out soon.
Wow.
I think
We cannot hear. We cannot hear.
check. Can you hear me? Sorry.
Rajesh bhai, one
Some
of my
problems. Can you hear
favorite Carnatic ragas, I find the rag very fascinating, is this rag called Nalinakanti.
Oh,
So can I request you to
Yeah.
play that little bit for me? I love that rag.
Definitely, ji.
listening to ragas at this time is so much healing and so wonderful. Everyone is enjoying the bliss, sir.
Thank you, sir. So beautiful.
Thank you, sir.
So
as I
is this
told you,
is
I
the
want
mood of this the raga sounds like a very happy raga? Is it a happy raga
very, very happy raga, and it's
Carnatic music?
very. It's called Vakra raga. It's not straightforward raga. It's like sa sa
So
ga re
pani
ma
sa
pa
ga
ni
re
sa.
ma pa ni sa
Yeah.
sa ni pa
Sa ni
ma
pa
re
ma
ga
ga
re
re
sa. This is how it goes.
No, sa ni pa ma ga re sa.
Sa ni pa ma ga re sa. Okay.
So
Yeah, because that is another raga.
yeah,
Sa ni pa ma re ga re sa. That's another
yeah,
raga.
sa ni pa ma. Yeah, everything. So if you play same notes, but sama gama pa ni sa means it become Kedara. So it's very, very minute. As you
Sa
said,
ma
in
ga ma
Carnatic
pa
music, you
ni
have to put
sa.
lot of small.
Ah,
It's Kedara again.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
Carnatic, yes,
Wow.
as you explain, it's small, small intricacies, but it gives a different dimension definitions.
And then we have our Kedar, which is sa ma ga ma pa ni sa. That's what you said. Ours is sa ma ga pa ma da pa ma sa re sa. That's our Kedar.
Aha.
So it's all little idhar udhar.
Do you mind playing a few lines in Kedar? Your Kedar.
Of course, certainly. So that is our Rag Kedar, which is a
Kya
very
baat hai, sir.
romantic
Wow.
evening raga.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful, sir. When you are telling about different genres, no,
Thank
you
you
need
so
to
much.
have. Previously, you're talking about that, working with different artists. As you said, we need to have a different mindset
Yeah,
to
yes, yeah.
accept and agree, and be. It's very important, and then less of ego. Correct?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking about this earlier today evening in another webinar, and they asked the same question: is that very often you have actually hit the nail on the head. It's the ego. What is ego basically? Ego is basically nothing but awareness about self. So ego is a little bit like cholesterol. Huh? There's a good ego also. Good awareness of self is good. Then there's the bad ego. The bad ego is the part which tells you that your awareness of self is so strong that you are not aware of other people around you.
Correct.
So it is the same in music. When your musical ego makes you think that your music is the best, and I'm not talking about your personal music, but your genre, what you have been taught, my tradition, my family, my raga. It's a little bit like, people say that, oh, I'm the best, and after that is my son. And that is totally detrimental to living together in a society. So when you're on a stage and playing with somebody, you have to let your good ego be there, which makes you aware of who you are and where you come from. And then you have to get rid of your bad ego and bow down to the energy or the tradition or the ethos or the culture of the other person, what the other person is bringing to the stage.
Absolutely. Purbayanji, probably that is a reason the ancient musicians, they were all playing in temples or in front of God or for God, so that everybody is staying humble and the utmost devotion is expressed.
Yes,
Well said.
I believe so. And you know, but let me also clarify that, you know, devotion and humility are within you. So, you know, being next to God is also a state of mind. We are always next to God.
True.
If you
Very well.
feel, if you feel that you are, you know, you want to play for God, if you believe, if you truly believe that from within, then you will sit in front of an audience of 10,000 people, and you will be playing for God, and you will see God in each one of those people. And if you don't have godliness within you, then you will be sitting right in the temple and thinking of yourself. So, you know.
Very nice. Very
Very,
nice.
very beautifully put, sir. Because my brother Guruji used to say that even if there is no audience, even there is one audience or no audience, think that God is sitting there and listening to you and give your 100%. Very well said, sir.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely, absolutely, sir.
And
And you know,
I
when
would,
you can, when is the best time when you can tell yourself these things, is when you're going through difficult times, when you're going through COVID, and when you feel your existence is in threat, is when you realize these higher philosophical things, is when you can look a little inward. So all is not bad with this situation that we are going through. It is helping us look a little inward and realize what we have, and how we can treasure and cherish what we have.
yeah, beautifully, sir. In fact, I was wanted to ask you what would you be your advice to people, because the whole idea of healing manual is to give them some relief, some solace,
Yeah,
some soothing
absolutely.
feeling. So, what you would suggest them? I mean, advise them
Well,
to in this situation.
I would give listeners only one suggestion. Please go to the Apple Music Store, Amazon, download you Rajesh ji's music. You will be happy instantly.
So sweet, sir.
No, and few advice for the next generation musicians about Riyaz, how to focus, because great artist, if you advise, it'll be very helpful for the next generation.
Well, you know, and this is not my humility speaking. I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. Um, any thing that I try to tell the younger generation is something I've learned from somewhere. And a lot of the wisdom that I am lucky to have picked up is from a great Ustad Maestro, whose name is Zakir Hussain. And this is something he said recently at an interview, which really resonated with me. He said, Riyaz, don't make your Riyaz a ritual. Riyaz uh, should be something you want to do. Just like, don't make your prayer also a ritual.
Exactly.
Don't pray at 6 o'clock in the evening because you must pray at 6 o'clock in the evening. Pray at 6 o'clock in the evening because at 6 o'clock in the evening you feel like praying. And one day, if you want to pray at 8 o'clock in the evening, please pray at 8 o'clock in the evening. Don't make it a ritual. Make God your friend. Make God somebody you want to go to. Make your music and your riyaz and your sadhana something that you love and cherish. Make your instrument something you want to touch, something you want to go to. And so, how can you do that? My question is, how can you do that as a young? See, riyaz is repetitive. You are. It is difficult to love something that you must repeat many times. So, the way you can love your riyaz is by achieving greater perfection. When you practice with certain goals in mind for your music only, I'm not talking about a goal where you make more money, or then you will enjoy and cherish your sense of achievement. When you will get better, it's a little bit like a kid, when once he starts studying algebra, and after that he can solve some complex equations, he starts loving it. Before that, it all seems very daunting and distant. So once you start loving it, you will want to come near it. So always keep that love, element of love. And whenever you feel that you are, little bit daunted by it, keep some distance for some time. That will make you want it again. It will happen because you love it. That's why you're doing it. So that is my suggestion to every young musician, is that focus on the love. It should be very pure love.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Beautiful, sir. Beautiful, sir. Not only for young generation, even for me, it's so inspiring. Thank you.
No, sir. I need some advice from you also, because you've kept your music so fresh and so beautiful over so many years, and yet the touch. In fact, I want to hear some words from you about what you feel. I feel that even you, Srinivas ji, just the touch. I think the magic is in the touch. What would you like to tell me about that?
Well, thank you. But what my Guruji has told me, in fact, I was talking about in the previous episode that when I was working on this album called Following My Heart. So I was checking with him. I always go down. He's like my, godfather and everything. So I was checking every song, how to use this and all. So he said, first relax, calm down. He said, don't worry about technicality. It's whatever note touches your heart is the right note. First you should relax. And he said, see which note is touching your heart.
Absolutely.
That's why I've named it Following My Heart. So I think it's more important. The passion should be, as you explained, from within you, and then basically it should touch the soul. Whatever note you play, it should be so pure and loving from your side. It will go and touch others. I mean, that's what I've learned from my Guruji.
True. We are all like those young lovers, who write big letters, when they prepare to go and tell their beloved, oh, I love you so much. We prepare a big speech, and that's the practice. That's the riyaz. And then you go on stage and you say something completely else. Then you speak from the heart. So, that's how it is.
Very, very perfectly said. We will plan something, but Ma Saraswati on stage, what she gives, only she knows.
Beautiful.
We'll be preparing so many things. On the stage,
exactly.
We don't know what comes. It's only blessings of Goddess.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
yeah.
We didn't know how the time went off so beautifully. You spoke, sir. Thank you, and inspiring everyone.
Thank you,
I'd like
sir.
to end this thing with a small playing. Remember that Sangam will play a little bit Kirvani and then play a little bit that song, and then we will finish it up.
Okay. All right. Well, again, you have to bear with me for a couple of minutes while I tune.
No problem.
Can I fill it with a couple of words, sir, while you tune it?
Absolutely, sir. I will mute myself so you can speak.
Thank you, sir. Sitar, when you're playing, I was very fascinating. Sitar reminds me of the goddess Tarama, who is a goddess of the higher knowledge, and Ma Saraswati. Even Ramakrishna Paramahansa worshipped Kalima as Bhavatarini. So even when you go to Dakshin Kali Mandir, Ma Bhavatarini is there. It's very, very fascinating. And the Tara even guard the strings, and even there is string theory of the quantum physics, like strings of the universe playing on a life fretboard. Interestingly, fretboard, there are 12 swaras and astrologically 12 signs of the zodiac. We want to thank Tarama, goddess, bless us all in the COVID situation. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Over to you, sir. क्या बात क्या बात है?
Sir, we never want this to stop.
We should continue this on stage next time.
Yes, sir. Soon.
There's something with your mic, sir.
Can
Yeah, now I can. Now I can.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
No, I'm saying when you start playing, we get lost. So beautiful, and I miss being on stage with you. Such a inspiring music from you. Thank you so much, and then beautiful words for the.
అది నాకు వినిపించట్లేదు
So much
ఏంటి?
for spending your time, valuable time with us. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you, Rajesh ji. Thank you so much. Thank you for Madhu ji. Thank you for inviting me here and giving us a chance to share some music and some wisdom, whatever we have learned a little bit, and most importantly to share these pieces. Beautiful. This is a piece by Yuja Nivas ji, and actually you said I get lost thinking of Yuj Srinivas ji when I'm playing this piece. It's like, even the other piece that we have played there, we have played one more Kirwani piece together, no? Exactly. Yeah. Beautiful. That's another beautiful piece. I mean, it's what a privilege for me to be able to play some of these pieces.
Such an honor that you came today for the show. Thank you once again. Have a wonderful good night's sleep and good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. And to the entire audience, wherever you are watching from, have a great day and a great time. And as I said, if you really want to be happy, go and download Rajesh ji's music from Apple Music or wherever.
Go download your music.
And thank you, Madhuji. Have a great day in San Francisco, and I will connect with you offline, sir.
Definitely. Really. And we will get more blessings from you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Rajesh
Have
garu.
a-
Thank you, Praveen
Bye-bye.
garu. Nandu garu, for helping us really infrastructure this. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Happy Ganesh.
Happy Ganesh Chaturthi to everybody. Good night.